Yes guys, Jess here, back with another video. You read the title. You can see we are exactly breaking out from this downsloping trend line that we actually highlighted in the last video, and you can see that we've punched in a nice shorter time frame high, and we are primed to actually reclaim that 100k level. You can see we were expecting a bounce from this level. We came off to the trend line and we were looking for Bitcoin to actually crack the trend, and we had a little bit of a lower time frame shakeout, just like we highlighted, grabbing a little bit more liquidity below the support, and now we're just following it up with a nice breakout into its yearly close. At the time of this recording, you can see that we have less than 24 hours before the new year. So happy new year in advance, guys. This is looking really good. Hopefully we can come up in towards 100k, and once we get to around 97.5 and 99.5, that pocket over there is a decision point in my opinion, and I want to see what the price action is showing, and that will actually help us to determine if we're going to get some sort of pullback or we're going to get a nice continuation. You can see for the liquidations, we've exactly came up and actually grabbed that top side liquidity just like we highlighted, and we can see shorts starting to open up even more right now, building even more liquidity above us. So I do think that continuation is very likely. Now you can see we highlighted this nice falling wedge previously in the last video, and we said we're primed for a breakout and it's more likely that we're actually going to go upwards, and you can see exactly we are actually breaking out and testing at mid-range. That's why we're having a bit of a tough time right now. However, I do think that the next few candles, if we can start moving upwards and then maybe retest it again, we have enough momentum hopefully to actually start that uptrend in towards the new year. And as you can see, we have all the relevant levels of support and resistance over here, and you can see we exactly bounced for that 91k support over there after a little bit of a liquidity grab. So things are looking quite good. We just need to start actually breaking out a bit more higher and actually clearing this previous high and creating bullish market structure where we're getting higher highs and higher lows. We want to see another macro higher low being confirmed over here, and then this is massive resistance over here as we have the point of control on our volume node. As you can see over here, we have that volume node, we have large volume node candles over here, and this is your point of control. So once we come in towards that 98k 97k, we want to see if we can actually confirm that as support before we look for higher prices. However, it is likely that we may get some sort of cool down and create another potentially higher low here, and then that can confirm some sort of inverse head and shoulders, and we can look at the neckline again, and then on the second attempt perhaps we can actually go a lot higher and actually break out to new all-time highs. But again, that's looking a bit too forward. We need to see how price develops, as we need to start confirming at least closing candles above 95,500. And you can see on that imminent short term, we have massive bullish divergence. So this is looking really good, as this is indicating that bears are exhausted from pushing price down. We had that low volume push from the bears, bringing price all the way down. And I did mention that this was a bit artificial over here. As you can see, volume was actually decreasing and price was decreasing, showing that it was easier for the bears to push price down due to Christmas, Boxing Day, and market participants taking time off of the markets. But now we started a new week, and you can see that price is actually broken out of this downslipping trend line, and it's actually primed to actually start going a lot higher now in towards the end of this week. Perhaps we want to see if volume can start to slowly increase, as it's still relatively low. It's a new year. A lot of people are still rebalancing portfolios, speaking specifically about the institutions. So we want to see perhaps in the second week of January volume start to pick up. So you can see your daily exchange volume is starting to bottom out. It's starting to curve and tick back upwards from falling just straight down in a vertical line. So we want to just monitor this and see when we get volumes actually increasing a lot more to actually help us to confirm a real breakout upwards from spot buy. You can see this is the Trump inauguration window that I've plotted on my chart. So this is some scenario to actually look in towards as we move higher potentially and punching higher highs and higher lows. That will indicate a bullish outlook, a bullish sentiment in the market in towards Trump's inauguration, and potentially we get to sell the news event before resuming buying activity. Ignore the prices, this is just a visual example, but again, we'll cover this closer to the time. This is just something to bear at the back of our minds. And you can see on the 3-day time frame, we have bearish divergence confirming momentum slowed down. However, you can see the RSI starting to tick, and we're about to move upwards. So this can indicate a massive bear trap where we don't even get to the golden pocket, where we have the 382 and our 0.5 where 21-week exponential moving average lining up in our pocket. We want to see price, if we do pull back and this is just a massive bull trap, then that's a massive support area and the bull market will still be intact. So we just need to be buying up the dip. However, I do think that this it's going to force the bears looking for this scenario to actually chase price if we can actually confirm a reversal here. Quickly zoom in, you can see over here that we have this previous lower high over here to actually break above, which will actually invalidate this bearish divergence, and then we want to see price actually confirm that support and move higher, and that's that resistance level that we're actually talking about over on this chart over here. So the point of control that will line up nicely, we want to actually reclaim that and then actually start moving a lot higher. And as you can see here, we have a cup and handle, and you can see this scenario is still perfectly playing out. If you look at the 2020 fractal over there, we had a macro higher low before we actually continued higher, and you can see just there on the growth pattern that macro higher low. And right now it's looking like we're having a very similar scenario where we're expecting a macro higher low continuation, maybe a few more shakeout scenarios before we actually top out potentially in around the 120 mark. Again, that's just the base case. We can go a lot higher, but that's something to be watching out for. And as you can see here, guys, alt season is still on the way. We still have our monthly time frame fractal over here showing where we have our year one, where it's Bitcoin season, year two, where we have alt season sometimes, but it's not all the time. As you can see, very early on, we didn't have that. It was just Bitcoin. There was no altcoins anyway. But in year two, traditionally, you have money flowing into your large caps. Then year three is where you have full-blown alt season, and that's exactly what's happening from tomorrow. So definitely be ready for that to actually take place. And for Ethereum here, you can see we have a power of 3, or our AMD model, where you have accumulation, then you have a shakeout / manipulation, then expansion. So we want to see us actually reclaim 3,500 and then confirm that as support before actually confirming this scenario where we have a massive breakout, retest, and then continuation to try and punch in new highs for Ethereum. And you can see that may happen. However, if you have more chop in towards January, that will be completely fine. That will just confirm this massive inverse head and shoulders. So definitely be keeping your eyes peeled for either scenario. And you can see Ethereum is currently testing this symmetrical triangle. So if you can get a massive bounce now, this can actually start the massive alt season underway. And you can see here we have Ethereum massive cup and handle playing out. We need to see a follow through from the bulls to actually break above this neckline resistance, and then you can see our measured move is actually from our base, our bear market bottom of the cup in towards our neckline, take it to the breakout. You can see if we get a Fibonacci prediction from our all-time high from last cycle to our bear market lows, it actually lines up perfectly with a cup and handle measured move. So you can see that's around 7,300, and that'll be absolutely massive, guys. So we want to see if that scenario can actually play out, because we know that Bitcoin is massively leading Ethereum, so we want to see a massive catch-up trade from Ethereum against Bitcoin. And speaking about Ethereum against Bitcoin, you can see we have a massive falling wedge. We've touched the massive demand zone, and you can see we have this massive support level that's actually downward sloping over here, and you can see it's massively holding up right here, support, and we're starting to get some bullish activity on the lower time frames. So we definitely want to see ETH start to break out, because that will confirm a massive alt season where things will go actually parabolic for all the Ethereum ecosystem and all the smaller cap alts. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for this breakout, where I will alert you guys immediately, especially on my Twitter, guys. So make sure to be following me right now. And you can see typically ETH actually breaks out in January. So Q4 is the best for Bitcoin. However, Q1 is the best for Ethereum. Definitely want to see ETH start breaking out in January, whether that's after the inauguration in towards February. That's completely fine. We're still going to see a massive Q1 for Ethereum against Bitcoin, so that's going to be massive for your altcoins, and that's going to confirm the massive altcoin season underway. Now for Bitcoin dominance, you can see it's inversely correlated, so we're seeing a breakdown of Bitcoin dominance and retest on this massive resistance level over here. So we want to see this massive continuation of this retest downwards in towards our previous daily open from tomorrow, and then we can watch if we can actually hit this massive support in and around the 40 cent mark. We do have some support over here in and around the 48% level over here, so you can see definitely that's one area to watch for, but we'll talk about that once we get there. But we definitely want to see moves down from Bitcoin dominance, which will actually confirm massive moves for Ethereum. You can see each time that we had a massive top, it's very dramatic. We actually take the stairs up and then the elevator down on Bitcoin dominance every single time. So we want to see the same thing happening from tomorrow. So if you want to be taking advantage of that scenario, make sure to smash up the like button. Let's try and get above 25 likes, guys. That'll be absolutely amazing. And if you want to be taking advantage of that scenario, make sure to click the first link in the description. That will take you towards this page over here where you have Blofin. Blofin is a nice reputable exchange. They are well known in the industry. I actually used them before I was affiliated, just because they have no KYC. So be checking in your country if that's legal and actually available, and that 100% be a great option for you guys. Non-KYC, they have massive deposit bonuses where if you deposit on the exchange, you get massive bonuses back, and then you can even use that to build some positions too, which is absolutely amazing. They also have zero maker fees, so it's very, very cheap to trade. And also they are one of the only exchanges to have fire blocks, and this is essentially third-party custodians to make sure that your funds are more secure. And for Bitcoin, you can see we've exactly had support from that Gaussian channel, and we're exactly bouncing from that support that we mentioned. This bullish divergence kicking in, and we're having a positive response so far. So we want to see follow through, and we definitely want to see if we can actually break above these local highs over here and actually start punching in higher lows and continue the uptrend. And you can see the timing cycles is exactly right, as Mr. Crypto points out. It's typically around 245 days from the Bitcoin halving where we see Altseason, and that's exactly the timing right now. And that actually coincides with a consolidation / pullback from Bitcoin, which we've exactly seen. So this is definitely the time where we can see alt actually massively outperform Bitcoin. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to follow me on Twitter to stay up with consistent updates there. You can see I post these charts sometimes before I even get a chance to come on YouTube. So you make sure to be doing that. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a blessed rest of your day. Peace, guys. See ya. Bye-bye.